Hey guys, welcome to the Daily Word Bible Study, a plain and simple book by book, chapter by chapter, and verse by verse study through the entire Bible. Currently, we are in the Proverbs chapter 27. So let's get right in it. Proverbs chapter 27. Where you at? 27. Here we go. He says, "Don't boast about tomorrow, for you don't know what a day might bring." So true. Think about this. You really don't know. We really, really don't know. I remember going to work, and actually, truthfully, I don't even know. I can't tell you I remember going to work. I can tell you I remember a typical day. I went to work one day and didn't come home. Well, put it like this: I went to work one day and didn't go off and went off riding my bike on lunch hour. Got into an accident. To this day, I don't remember. Now it's kind of interesting because my locker was open. Everything else probably was kind of open, and that's what he said. Don't boast about tomorrow. You don't know what it's going to bring. And there are a billion ways we could apply this, but don't boast about tomorrow, he says, for you don't know what today might bring. Now, he's not saying don't plan. He said don't boast. Let another praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. Now, there are a lot of people who love self-praise. It, but he says it better comes when other people recognize and praise you. Verse 3, a stone is heavy in sand, a burden. A stone is heavy in sand, a burden, but aggravation from a fool outweighs them both. That is true. Think about just being in the presence of a fool. And we could just go on and on. I mean, many applications here. When you're around, Esau was a fool, and he was an irritant to his parents. Verse 4, fury is cruel, and anger a flood, but who can withstand jealousy? Never underestimate the power of jealousy. And the reason why jealousy is such, I'm by nature, I'm not when I say a jealous person, I think we all have a jealous side to us. And the word jealousy can also, you can have jealousy, you can have zeal, but the idea of jealousy, meaning emotions that burn hot. The idea of jealousy is that the reason why you those emotions burn hot is because of the lack of reciprocation. So for example, if I have emotions for my wife and then my wife gives those her emotions to another man, I could be jealous because I my emotions for her is burning hot. She is not reciprocating but giving it to another man. This is why you see but many crimes of passion. But I see people who can be jealous. That could go in any way. Attention. You know how many parents, mothers and fathers, whatever, get jealous of their kids because one of the other parents is paying them more attention? So we can go on and on and on with this. There's many applications. He says, verse 5, better an open reprimand than concealed love. That's interesting. Think about this. How many times have we said, man, I wish you had told me? Even though sometimes we might not listen, but notice he said, an open reprimand is better than concealed love. I love you, but I'm not going to say anything. And notice he said it's true. You could love someone and not do anything for them. It's just not good love. Verse 6. The wounds of a friend are trustworthy, but the kisses of an enemy are excessive. Can't help but wonder if Judas is somewhere in there. Verse 6. But obviously, not only Judas, but anybody, of course. Verse 7. A person who is full tramples on a honeycomb, but to a hungry person, any bitter thing is sweet. Isn't that true? Right? When you have full, right? Anything you throw away. But if you're hungry, verse 8, a man wandering from his home is like a bird wandering from his nest. A lot of application to this. When he says wandering from his home, wandering in what way, right? And then just fill in the blank. Verse 9, oil and incense bring joy to the heart, and the sweetness of a friend is better than self-counsel. Verse 10, don't abandon your friend. Don't abandon your friend or your father's friend. And don't go to your brother's house in your time of calamity. Better a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. He said a lot in there, a lot to unpack with this one. Notice he said, don't abandon your friend or your father's friend. So think about that statement there, your father's friend. If he's truly a friend of your father's, don't abandon him, he says. He says, don't go to your brother's house in the time of calamity. But he says, better a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. So again, very interesting Proverbs here. Verse 11, be wise, my son, and bring my heart joy, so that I can answer anyone who taunts me. Remember earlier he said, when the father, the father of the wise brings, the father who raises a wise child brings joy or will have joy. Verse 12, a sensible person sees danger and takes cover. An inexperienced keep going and are punished. Now, again, I think there's a lot of ways of applying this. A sensible person sees danger, see the calamity, see the danger, but then you hide from it. But they said the inexperienced or the foolish keep going, then they're what? They're punished. Again, a lot of applications to this, though. Verse 13, take his garment, for he has put up security for a stranger. Get collateral if it is for foreigners. Now, when he said to get collateral, now security means you guarantee a loan. Collateral means you get you get something of value. Okay. Um, verse 14. If one blesses his neighbor with a loud voice early in the morning, it would count it as a curse to him. We got about being a loud mouth. Think about that one, a loud mouth. People who are loud. Like you can be in the store and they holler at you way across the store. Verse 15. An endless dripping on a rainy day and a nagging wife or alike. There you go again, wife. Don't be nagging. No, he says, endless dripping. Drip, 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 drip. Nagging wife. Verse 16. The one who controls her controls the wind and grasps all with his right hand. In other words, you can't put an oil in there, right? Oil. Can you control the wind? The one who controls her controls the wind. You actually can't. That's why I said it's better to live on a rooftop than with a nagging wife. Verse 17. Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. So the beauty of, I think one of the biggest things is no one is an island to himself. No one is an island. So iron sharpens iron. Verse 18. Whoever tends a fig tree will eat its fruit. Whoever looks after his master will be honored. Verse 19. As water reflects the face, so the heart reflects the person. Now, kind of interesting here because they didn't have mirrors as we know them. A shiny something would reflect like water. Clear water, something like that would reflect. And notice he says, so the heart reflects a person. What's in a person's heart, that's whatever comes out of a heart, that's what a person is. We oftentimes, when we're dealing with people, we fail to realize that, fail to do that. As water reflects the face, so the heart reflects a person. Verse 20, Sheol and abandon are never satisfied, and people's eyes are never satisfied. Now, a couple of things to unpack with this. Think about this. Sheol, meaning the grave, and then abandon is the place of unparted spirits. So those are the two right here. Notice he says, are never satisfied. Now that's a revelation for us because we don't know. I wouldn't know unless you said that. Notice what he said, the people's eyes are never satisfied. Now, by the way, as to Sheol and abandon, in other words, there's always people dying, right? It's never, we're too full, we can't accept any more. Okay? But notice this, people's eyes are never satisfied. You ever look across something? Think about this. Just think about what your eyes are never satisfied. You can always look. Go into your same old room and look. A nice view. Think about this. Looking at a countryside. On the one hand, you could probably say it's boring. But yet sometimes looking at the scenery, right? You're never satisfied with looking. You're always looking, always seeing. Verse 21. A crucible for silver and a smelter for gold and a man for the words of his praise. Okay? Now, I'm not good at the coppersmithing here, but okay, I'll take this word for it. Verse 22. Though you grind a fool in a mortar with a pedestal along with grain, you will not separate his foolishness from him. This is kind of harsh, isn't it? In other words, a fool is a fool. Verse 23. Know well the condition of your flock. Pay attention to your herds. For wealth is not forever, not even a crown lasts for all time. Now, I guess if we put the wisdom to task here, in our modern day, know what are your affairs like? Right? Things don't last forever. I think that's the whole thing. And then when he says know the condition of your flock, I would say this, if I want to put this in a moderate application, live by a budget. I'm taking liberty here. Live by a budget. A simple pen and paper. Write down a budget. Write down how much you make, how much you make, how much your bills are. That simple task right there would save people a lot of heartache. But I digress. Verse 25. When hay is removed and new growth appears, and the grain from the hills is gathered in, lambs will provide your clothing, and goats the price of a field. There will be enough goat's milk for your food for your household, and nourishment for your female servants. So all of this comes from paying attention to your financial affairs. In the agrarian society of the day, you would, okay, look at the flocks, right? And if you do what's right. By the way, even in this day, that's why they had shepherds watching their flocks, because people would steal, people would rob, okay? All right, so I won't go to the next chapter. We'll cut it off here, pick it up. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you ever thought a comment, add it to the comment section below. All comments are welcome. We'll see you in the next study.